table for tonight. Why don't y'all hop over into voice chat too, and you can organize and continue from there.
Also, if you have a bit of an overflow, I can take at least 2 more people at max. I prefer to keep a smaller group, but if you still have some overflow, and
I think we should be good.
Okay.
Yeah, but thank you.
Everybody else has already been on mine, so it's just maps. And I'll see you guys in voice chat too.
Okay.
Right? We got some elbow room. Look at that. Okay. So, if y'all have the Roll20 pulled back up here, I'm going to be clearing out the player tokens. Give me just a moment. And we're going to be getting a new selection here. We're going to be continuing and finishing up the Red Claw adventure, which I think for the first time in Sunday D&D history, we will have less people than is recommended for the mission. But don't worry, I can totally rebalance it on the fly. I'm sorry? I didn't hear that. Yeah, so I just moved y'all in Roll20 back to the kind of starting organization map. Once we get the characters all set up here, I will totally do a recap. But before I do the recap, absolutely, yeah. Before I do that recap, sorry, I'm just getting things a little rearranged here. Okay, so I see we have Miss Marple, Flash Follower 87, and Andrew 781. Who are the three of y'all playing today? Medrash. That is true. That's a good choice. Medrash, got you pulled up right there. And then Ellen.
I will play Salt.
Salt, great choice. And Andrew.
I'll play as Alfred. I just want to get back in the swing of things today.
Okay, no problem. Let me find the Alfred token here. I know I have it. There we go. All right, we have our three intrepid heroes here. All right, give me just a few more moments because I reinstalled a bunch of stuff on my computer, and one of the things that is not working correctly is my PDF reader, and so it keeps closing randomly. I have like 5 tabs open, and then they just all close. So give me just a minute to get that reopened in a different browser. Hey, Pace. Oh, bye, Pace. I'm not the only one having technical difficulties, apparently. All right. Well, while we are getting started here, and I'm just redoing my prep, why don't we do our introductions? Nice. And your fun fact? Personal. Fun fact about you. Wow. Awesome. Well, hey, congrats.
Congrats.
Love is in the air, apparently. All right. Well, Romance is in. Who's next?
I'll go. I'm Ellen, and I'm playing Salt, the Asimar monk today. And my fun fact is that I made vanilla chai macarons this week, and they are delicious.
Oh my goodness. I am so jealous. That is great fun fact. And Andrew, your introduction?
I'll be playing Alfred. I'm playing as a half-elf celestial warlock, and my fun fact is yesterday I attended my cousin's engagement party.
I'm sorry, your cousin's what party?
Engagement party.
Oh, cool.
Fun.
Uh-huh. I'm Violet. I'm your dungeon master for tonight. And my fun fact is, I got some really, really nice new headphones that are very, very cool. They are Audio Technica, some string of numbers and letters, very, very fancy headphones. And I got them on a great deal too. And they're so cool, like audiophile level headphones, so I can hear everything now. It's really cool. Normally, I think the suggested price from the retailer is like $300, and I got them for $130. Yeah,
Nice.
a steal. All right, and so that is my fun fact, and we are heading back into the town of Knotside, or rather, just outside of it. You see, something is wrong with the people of Knotside. A few weeks ago, a popular new liquor called Red Claw showed up in the city's many taverns. Anyone that took a sip of this spirit immediately wanted more. At first, these desires were nothing more than cravings, but soon, those cravings grew to obsession. Then obsession turned to violence. Now the city of Knotside faces collapse as the red-eyed, Red Claw addicts stalk the streets desperate for more. Yes, and they're hosting the most violent of keggers. And you all, having run into a little group of 6 guards, a little group of 6 guards on war horses led by a veteran, a war veteran named Callias that you met. And Callias kind of hailed you on the road after you first encountered some of these Red Claw addicts and explained that about a month ago, a group of monks brought the Red Claw into town. They only brought in a little bit, but right away it was a huge hit. Anyone who had a taste immediately started speaking its praises. And then they came back a few days later bringing more, and then soon everyone was drinking it. But the more they drank, the more they wanted. And at one point, when they came, they didn't have enough for everyone, and so the cart got attacked, the cart full of monks. The next time they came armed, and their prices went up, way up. It didn't matter, of course. The people of Knotside are obsessed with the liquor, and so they were throwing all of their gold, jewels, whatever they could get their hands onto the monks' wagons just for a few bottles of the stuff. Those who couldn't get a taste turned even more violent. So Callias and his men have been trying to find the source of the liquor itself, but unfortunately the few men that he has are tied up quelling the riots. And you all have been asked by him to help him find the source of the Red Claw. After y'all kind of prodded for a little bit more information, you were able to determine some more information, such as the appearance of the monks. Most of them are, some of them are dragonborn, and others appear to be short, possibly halflings. Later, it was revealed that most of them are actually kobolds. Kobolds and some dragonborn, but mostly kobolds. And they were wearing thick robes with bandages wrapped around their arms and face, and they had mangy-looking giant weasels that they had tamed to pull their carts. He also learned you also learned that you are the first adventurers that Callias has come across. The few adventurers that were in Knotside are already affected by the liquor. Let me see. You also learned that the last time the monks came into town, they were armed, and the commoners that tried to go after them were picked off by flaming arrows shot by the caravan guards. And Callias, after that, sent a scout after the monks when they left town, and he explained to y'all that he believes they're hiding in their distillery somewhere north of the city in the Basilisk Spine mountain range. Now, you all followed that cart and followed the trail all the way north, and you found this distillery, which I will switch all over to the other map here. Whoops, hold on, sorry. Clones.
He does most things. He's kind of like he's like a healing. He's like a priestly version of a warlock. He wears priest costumes. He's got a bonus action that lets him heal. He's got a few special cantrips. He's mostly a caster.
In terms of personality, how would you describe him?
I would say he tries to be nice and tries to help everyone, but he understands once he does some stuff that people may start questioning what he does, but he likes to try to do stuff for the greater good, basically.
Okay. Noble at heart, but not overly dedicated, I guess, maybe? Is that kind of what it sounds like? It's like he's willing to cut his losses at a certain point for the greater, instead of going for the greater good necessarily.
Yeah, he's not a typical warlock, I'll say that.
Okay. Very cool. So, as you can see on the map here, I've extended it a little bit down to the bottom. The base of the mountain here has this big overhanging alcove cut into the side of it, where a flow of lava cuts in front of that overhang like a moat, closing it off to the rest of the mountainside. The distillery was right over here, but the previous group of adventurers that had come with you unfortunately decided to burn it down rather than loot anything that might have been in there. So the distillery is currently on fire, burning to the ground, and you all found a side entrance over here where a captain of these kobolds seemed to have been hiding before. You all fought your way inside, defeating him through no small amount of trickery, discovering that the stairwell was actually trapped and full of spikes. And you also, I think the last thing that happened was these weasels were released from their pens and freed, although they seem to really not know what to do exactly with their newfound freedom. In the chamber you're in at the moment, the ceilings are probably about 10 feet high, and you can see that barrels and barrels of Red Claw, some empty, mostly full, litter the place all around. In the next room above, you can sense a very, very high amount of heat emanating from the next room, and the sound of some machinery, steamworks, that sort of thing as well. And I'm going to say that the adventurers that were with you previously, I'm going to say a number of them became quite badly injured in the initial fight. Andrew, you might need to scroll down. I know the top half of the map is still hidden. So that should help reveal the rest of the map to you. But give me just a moment here. Mm-hmm. Okay. Where was I? Ah, yeah. So the rest of the adventurers that were with you previously were quite badly injured. Oh, wait, did it not? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. There we go. Fixed it.
Better.
That should be better now. Sorry about that.
I can see
No worries.
clearly now. The map is here.
Right. Oh my gosh. So the previous adventurers that were with you, a number of them became injured in the initial kerfuffle and the scuffle that happened. A number of the towers that were out here that had sort of the rudimentary flamethrowers or rather magma throwers seemed to be pretty damaging. So a number of your troops decided to hang back and head back to Knotside to tend to their wounds from the clerics in the one remaining safe haven there, which is the church. So the three of you have remained to kind of tackle this as, at least the intent is, to tackle it as somewhat of a stealthier mission than previously intended.
Sweet. Me and Salt are awesome at that.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Now, it doesn't have to be entirely stealth, to be totally clear. That is just the idea. I'm just kind of paraphrasing the hypothetical conversation that happened between you and the rest of the party. It was kind of like too many of us are injured. We'll never be able to sneak. Well, the rest of you that are injured, go back to town. Those of you who aren't,
go back inside of not side.
Yes, exactly. So you find yourselves standing in a hot, muggy, almost steaming oven of a cavern. You can see the red-tinged rock and dirt all around you houses these rudimentary makeshift weasel pens that have now been opened, and the weasels have all wandered off at this point. You can see that there is these large wooden carts that are being loaded up, or appear to have been being loaded up with Red Claw liquor. But at the moment, there's no more kobolds around here, although you do hear the sounds of machinery coming from this room to the north, as well as steam and bubbling sounds. What do you do?
I would like to just sneak around. How about you guys?
A little reconnaissance probably wouldn't be that bad.
I second the motion.
Place feels like home,
Alright.
to be honest. I'm cozy as a clam. Why are you guys sweating?
It is stiflingly hot in here. It's almost hard to breathe. It's like that level of heat and even humidity as well. Feels like
great.
Florida in the middle of summer.
Oh, if only it were a dry heat. Isn't that what people always say? It's okay, it's a dry heat.
I prefer a dry heat myself, but I prefer no heat to that as well.
You might live in the wrong place.
Yeah, true.
In Texas?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah, if you prefer not heat, living in Dallas.
that is very true. All right. So, as you all stand in this room, what would you like to do from here, specifically? Reconnaissance definitely sounds like a good idea, but in a more specific sense.
Well, we're already confident that this is where all the Red Claw's coming from, right?
Oh yes.
In that case, how do y'all feel about seeing where the mechanical sounds are coming from?
I agree. If we're going to do that, I would want to do it stealthily, at least at first, so that we can see if there are other kobolds, or, I mean, maybe it's not just kobolds, maybe there are other creatures that are still here working on the Red Claw. Because if it's just mechanics, that's easy. But if there are other creatures that we need to deal with, I'd rather know that first.
Well, that means Alfred is the distracting guy.
I can go in first, but I'll come in slowly and try to stay along the edges of the walls and bales and other obstacles.
Gotcha. Give me just a moment here.
Preferably not a barrel full of Red Claw, right? Because I would totally stuff you in one.
There are some empty barrels around.
Good.
All right. So I'm going to say all of you go ahead and roll stealth checks. Nice. Okay.
That is the lamest stealth roll I have rolled in a long time, actually.
No, talk to me.
Give me just a moment here. Rolling something.
Well, that's why you're in the barrel, Alfred.
So it sounds like you're stuffing Alfred into an empty barrel. Is that correct?
Well, not until we bump into something.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I fell into a barrel with that kind of roll.
Got you. And then Salt, you just practically turn invisible, it would seem.
I am the knight.
Right? Okay. Give me just one more moment.
For now, Salty Claws. For now.
Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to find a particular PDF. I apologize. Half of online DMing is PDF management, apparently.
Should we be worried about the weasels that are now roaming around?
They seem to be roaming aimlessly, harmlessly around. Most of them wandered out of the cave, so it doesn't seem to be anything particularly pressing.
Well, I mean about them drawing unnecessary attention.
I don't know. It's possible.
Screw it.
All right. Sorry, one more moment.
And that's how Medrash thinks. He has a good idea, but then he's like, "Oh, sod it."
I totally get that. Oh gosh, sorry. Honestly, we're probably going to end up ahead of time anyway, just because we have so few people, which is totally fine.
Well, that depends on how generous the Warlock's patron is. Because of healing.
I mean, true. Okay. Whew, here we go. Sorry about that. It took forever. All right. So, Medrash, you roll Alfred into a barrel and begin pushing him up this corridor here. And Salt, you move along like a shadow, dancing through the flickering orange light coming from the next room. Let me reveal the next room real quick. Mm-hmm.
I just realized that Alfred has taken the Metal Gear Solid approach to stealth.
Right. At least it's not a cardboard box.
This is better than a cardboard box.
That's what I was kind of thinking. I wasn't thinking like.
So don't mind me. I'm just using Medrash's token.
We're screwed.
That's probably going to be confusing, actually. So give me just a moment too. I didn't realize I had done that.
They're so cute.
Right. Let me grab a different token just to make things less confusing. But they are Red Dragonborn. Here we go. This is a funny one.
They're so dapper.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dragonborn.
That's Wild Gary, an NPC of mine from a different game. All right. So as you step into this room, you see a colossal cave up ahead, and at the center there is a huge brass distillery tank. Barrels bearing the Red Claw logo are everywhere. This must be one of the kobolds' production areas, and you can tell that almost for certain because there are, in fact, kobolds who are moving barrels from this direction over into this corner of the room, stacking them up, filling them, that sort of thing. Some of them are carrying empty barrels back, or some of them are carrying empty barrels in, and some of them are bringing the full barrels over into this area and painting the logo on them. And as you are rolling the empty barrel, well, not quite so empty barrel up into the room, you see also that there are two dragonborn kind of guards that seem to be watching the room. Each one has a sheathed scimitar on their hip and a whip in their offhand. And they seem to be kind of watching the room very closely. As you roll the barrel in here, I think with your stealth rolls, almost immediately, this guard looks over at you and just says, "Hey, where'd you find that barrel at?"
I just found it laying around by the weasel pens. Did you know somebody let those little bastards out?
What? Oh, the weasels are out.
Yeah, you might want to go. You might want to go get them. I mean, if you round them up real quick, I think you won't lose them.
Oh, roll a deception check for that.
Eh, 13.
Okay, give me just a moment.
I mean, the weasels are. Oh, I have an inspiration die. I forgot from the last game I played.
That is true.
May I use it?
You are welcome to use it. I'll let you re-roll it. Ooh, that's
Much
even better. That is a better roll, but you see as this Dragonborn steps towards you and goes, "Now hold on. If the weasels escaped, why are you pushing a barrel into the room and not chasing after them?"
Because
Come
they're
on,
trying to
lunkhead.
steal the barrels, man. I just got this one back from one of them.
He cuts you off mid-response and smacks you upside the head with the handle of the whip, and just says, "Go catch the fucking weasels before I whip you into shape. Come on." And he gestures like he's going to go with you and tells you to leave the barrel.
Fine, but we're having a word about that little love tap later.
You want to have words? Oh, I've got more than a couple words for you. What rank are you anyway?
Weasels first.
What rank are you anyway?
Probably just beneath you.
I'm going to roll one more insight check against that 18 deception. He squints at you and looks you up and down and just goes, "That's right. At least underneath me, one below. Just go get them weasels now, all right?" And he starts to follow behind you out of the room as Salt is...
He's higher in rank. I let him go first.
Or like you gesture like, "Oh, please go ahead."
Yep.
Okay. He takes off at a jog past you, shaking his head with frustration. And I think we'll say that y'all took the time to clean up any kobold bodies that were around here, because that would make sense. And you see as he rushes out and into the other room and just kind of looks around and goes, he turns around as you follow and just says, "Well, the weasels are all gone already. How long ago did they escape?"
I try to take out my axe and just hit him in the back of the head, in the back of the skull with it.
Nice. I'm going to say roll an attack roll with advantage. Oh, that's solid. Yeah, absolutely.
Woo!
All right. You just snap him right in the back of the head with the handle of your weapon. You said a battle axe is what it was? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's two hands
All
in this
right.
case.
Very nice. Go ahead and roll the damage for that attack. Okay, gotcha. I'm gonna say you deal a blow that, if only for the fact that he is surprised, knocks him out because he wasn't prepared for the hit. He just collapses into a heap on the floor, and you immediately hear him groaning. So he's not like 100% out, but he's absolutely like dazed.
Before I take his scarf, is he wearing a scarf, by the way?
He's not wearing a scarf, but he is wearing what appears to be some kind of tan robes, very thick, thickly made robes. And as you heard him fall, you noticed. I think you're perceptive enough to notice that there is what sounds like chainmail, at least, that he's wearing underneath that.
Well, in that case, I go ahead and I stuff his body into a full barrel of Red Claw.
Oh, okay. So you pick him up, still moaning and gurgling, and just dunk him headfirst into a barrel of Red Claw and put the top in it?
Yep.
Oh my.
And I put the barrel in the cart.
My. That is quite an act. As you do that, you seal the top of the barrel with a few quick taps of the blunt end of your battle axe. And a few moments later, you begin to hear a sound coming from inside the barrel. And you shush the barrel, and shortly thereafter, the gurgles stop.
I walk back in.
As you are heading back in, Salt, you have managed to slip amongst the barrels over here completely undetected. And Alfred, you are just sitting tight inside your little barrel. What would the two of you like to do?
Okay, so I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can get to the main distiller. Is that what that is?
You know what? I'm gonna say roll. I'm gonna say roll a history check to see if you can tell what this is, like what part of the system this is.
I am,
Okay.
if it helps, I am a foodie, like, chef.
That is true. You know, I'll say roll with advantage.
So I feel like I'd probably know at least the basics. Oh, yikes. Okay, never mind.
She knows less than she did
So
before.
it's a surprisingly well-made contraption, but I think really you wouldn't be able to tell anything other than this area right here is one of the main distillery tanks. This is where they dispense the liquor into the barrels. Aside from that, I don't think you would be able to glean much else. It
Okay.
does seem, however, I think you would be able to tell. This seems to be a mead that is fermented at very high temperatures due to the fact that it is being held over an open pit of lava or magma flowing below.
Okay.
It seems to
'Cause
be like there's little steam ports that seem to be letting steam out, so it's probably boiling inside.
Salt's main goal is going to be shutting off the distillery because we want to cut off the source of the Red Claw, and also that would be a good distraction for uh, our dapper little friend and these little dudes. I can't tell what they are.
Uh,
So
they
that we can
are,
take them by surprise.
oh yeah, these are little kobolds hauling barrels back and forth.
Kolbolds. Okay. All right. Yeah. So two birds, one stone. That's going to be Salt's main goal. I'm not sure if my stealth check is going to be enough to get me like to the main distillery tank, or if I have to roll again. Basically, I'm going to be like darting behind all of these little barrels around me.
Okay. I'm gonna say I don't want you to have to roll another stealth check. Your 23 was very, very good, and you're hiding here without anybody noticing you. But I will say, in order to get over to this guard right here is keeping a pretty close eye, and he seems to be kind of just making laps around the tank, and watching the exits as he does. You think you might need a distraction of some kind to get properly over there without being seen.
Interesting. Okay. In that case, let me
There's
see what
just
I've got.
there's just kind of this gap where there's just not barrels right along here.
Okay.
Uh,
In that case, I will probably use my light cantrip and pick like one of these barrels over here and cast light on them to make them glow so that he
hmm.
hopefully will be like, wait, what? What's going on over here? And go over there to check it out, which gives
So
me an opportunity to sneak up.
so slight note that may affect your plan. Light is actually a touch spell, so you have to touch the object to cast it.
You're right, it is.
Hmm.
Uh,
Although I like the way
okay.
you're thinking.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I could. Let's see, what's my dex? Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, then I might try to do that same plan, but use like one of these ones over here so that, cast light and then sneak quickly behind the barrels and around to where I am now and
Gotcha.
just make a more circuitous route.
Okay, so just to be clear, where are you casting light?
Let's see, this one?
Okay, so you're going to sneak over there, cast light, and then circle around to the right?
Yes.
Okay, got you. I'm going to say roll another stealth check at this point with advantage. Because you've already been very stealthy. Oh, very nice. Let's see. I'm just going to roll to see if anybody sees anything. Nobody sees a thing. You time it perfectly and do a combat roll in between the gap here, and you make it so you are hiding behind these barrels, in between the still and the barrels that are crowded around it. You are crouching low, and you can feel just the absolutely unbearable heat radiating from this still. You're hiding here, and you are hidden, and the kobolds will certainly walk their way around you, no problem, without seeing you. But you have the feeling like if I stand near this for too long, I'm just going to pass out from heat exhaustion.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And Alfred, you are still in the barrel, but did you want to do anything or continue to wait?
I'm going to continue to wait. I'm assuming I can't see anything.
I'm going to say roll a perception check.
I mean, at the very least, he probably heard the interaction between me and the first guard.
Yes,
You did.
that's all we
You did
heard.
at least the first part of it.
At least what was going on in that room, but
Which, by the way, if I re-entered the room, do I need to roll another stealth check?
Well, hold on one moment for that. I'm trying to kind of sync things up as much as possible, but you're about to walk back in, basically.
Of course.
So Alfred, you got a 3 on your perception check. I think you kind of search around the barrel for like a knot hole that you might be able to poke out or something like that, but you're just not finding anything. You find the cork in the barrel that normally seals it, and you think, oh, maybe I can peek out of that, but then you realize, oh, it's on the bottom of the barrel. I can't crane my head around to get to it properly. I should have gone in the other way. Whoops. Medrash, you walk into the room. And you see the Alfred barrel right where you left it, and you don't see Salt.
Well, I didn't see her walking in here anyway. That woman is as stealthy as I am, it seems. But I do look at the barrel that Alfred's in, because I remember where I put it. And
Yeah.
I whisper in, I'm like, how are you breathing in there?
I'm all right. Just let me know when you want me to get out.
Well, it'd probably help if you could see. I take just one clawed finger and like I poke a hole like right in the side of it, hopefully missing his face.
Okay, I'm gonna say roll just a strength check for that to see if you can do that, because these are solid wood barrels.
Eh.
Oh, I think you rolled a strength save.
Oh, athletics?
I was thinking just a strength check, just like a raw strength. How strong is your finger?
How
Can you do the 1-inch punch?
Just roll a strength.
You should be able to click on the stat. Like if you're using Roll20, it should, or using Beyond 20.
I'm using Beyond.
I forget how that works.
Here we go. I found it.
Okay. Beans.
Ooh.
I think I'll take a save instead.
Well, if we go with that roll, that'll unfortunately only bumps it up to a that would bump it up to an 8, unfortunately, or bump it down to an 8 rather. Yeah. But yeah, I think you jam your clawed finger into the side of the barrel, trying to poke a hole that he could see out of, but it just kind of bends your finger harshly, and you bruise your knuckle a little bit on the side of the barrel.
Son of a... Wait a minute, isn't there a bunghole like every barrel has? A whiskey and beer barrel has?
To like let it out, right?
No, there's 2 holes that are in barrels, both corked. One is for putting the nozzle into, and one is for usually at the top of it when you tilt it to the side. That's supposed to let the air flow in to let it flow.
Yeah. So the spigot is on the bottom where he is sitting on, but you do see the bunghole on the side. Yes.
I yank it out.
Okay. You boom, pull it out with a resonant sound. And Alfred, you see a little bit of light streaming in through a tiny hole halfway down the barrel that you can just barely kind of poke your eye out of. Or, well, not poke your eye out, but lean down to see through.
I turn the barrel in the direction of the enemies.
Awesome. I'm going to say you're looking right there. Oh, and let me see. Salt, what are you doing?
Okay, I will be checking out the distillery to see if there's any, if there are any tubes that can be disconnected, or any, I guess, I don't know anything about distilleries, but if there's anything that can be undone or broken or jammed so that it will stop working.
I'm going to say, based on your earlier history check, you don't really get how this is working, but you can see that these large tanks are all made of copper, which is not the hardest metal in the world. If you had a bladed weapon or a pickaxe or something like that, something sharp, you might be able to poke a hole in it and just dump the contents into the lava below. Alternatively, you are a monk, you might be able to just punch it hard enough to bust it open.
Let's try the knife thing first before I just punch it.
All right. So if you want to use a knife to try and just jam it into the side of the still, I'm going to say roll an attack roll for that. Or not an attack roll, I'm sorry. Roll the damage for that dagger attack.
It might be noisy.
That is true. This is going to be a noisy thing, most likely. Okay. Got a 9. All right. So you reel back with the dagger and just slam it into the side of this large tank here. And as you hit the tank, there is just a resonant, almost like a gong sound that resonates around the room. Immediately, you see this dragonborn over here draw his weapon, looking in your direction. This kobold holding a barrel, you see as he stumbles backwards, nearly dropping the barrel that he's carrying, and he goes, what was that? What was that? And you see, as you look at what your dagger has done, it's plunged about halfway into the copper and dented it quite severely. One more strike might do the trick.
All right, can I do one more strike, or are we in initiative order now?
Not quite yet. Medrash, did you want to do anything as these kobolds and the dragonborn are coming to investigate the noise where Salt is hiding?
I have an okay. I tell Alfred. I lean down and I whisper to Alfred, "Sorry about this, buddy." And I pick up the barrel that he's in and toss him and the barrel at the other dragonborn guard in the face.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. For that, I think that's an athletics check. Because you're basically doing like almost like a shot put with the barrel here. Okay. 15 athletics. You know what? I think that's enough. You pick up Alfred and hurl him across the room, Donkey Kong style, and just collides with the dragonborn guard, who was not at all expecting you to do that. And you see as you're throwing it at him, he looks at the barrel soaring through the air and puts up his whip completely helplessly, just reflexively trying to block it as if it would do anything, and also puts up the scimitar, but it's obviously not enough. And his eyes meet with yours, Medrash, for just a moment, and he says, "Trait!" And then the barrel collides with him. He's about to say traitor, and he is knocked prone right back here, we'll say. And Alfred, the barrel bursts open, freeing you immediately from it, and you are also prone right next to the dragonborn on the ground. Medrash, I'm going to say roll 3d6 bludgeoning damage.
On the guard or Alfred?
On the guard.
Okay, good.
Alfred's probably going to take a little bit of it.
You said 3d6, correct?
3d6, yes, sir. We're kind of playing a little fast and loose with the improvised weapon rules. Okay, Alfred, I'm going to say you take, this is a pretty rough throw here for you. As the barrel bursts open, you're going to take 5 points of bludgeoning damage, Alfred, but the Dragonborn takes 11 points of bludgeoning damage. All right, and now I think let's go into initiative. Add turn, add turn, turn. Awesome. Okay. Adam got a 10.
An even 10.
Awesome. Alfred got a 5. Not 5 apostrophe. There we go. All right. And then Kobold got a 8. The Kobold group, rather, got an 8. And Dragonborn Guard got a 10. He's going to go first, so 1.9. All right, first up in the initiative is Salt.
Okay, I am going to try to hit the same spot with my dagger that I hit before and see if I can pierce the tube so that it doesn't... It's all broken. No more red cloth.
All right. Go ahead and roll one more damage for that dagger. Nice. Okay. You plunge the dagger into the side of the the tank one more time, and as you do, there is just a cacophonous sound as if you've just released a great amount of pressure from this thing. In fact, make a dexterity saving throw as boiling hot liquor just explodes out from the side of the still, almost throwing you backwards away from it, tumbling through barrels. Oh, I think that's just a dexterity check. Go ahead and roll the saving throw. I think that would be a better bonus for you.
Oh, right, sorry.
Sorry.
Aha!
There we go. Much better. With a 16 dexterity saving throw, you manage to do a quick, agile somersault out of the way and land over here. But there is steaming hot, literally like a cloud of like gaseous liquor just being spewed out here, as well as boiling hot liquor itself, just absolutely erupting from the side of this tank right now. You can see as the kobolds begin shouting something in Draconic. I'm pretty sure only Medrash here speaks Draconic, or does Alfred as well?
I do not speak Draconic.
Okay. Salt, you don't speak it, right?
No.
Okay, gotcha. So those of you who do speak Draconic would understand that the kobolds are just going, oh no, we're dead meat now, oh, the still's ruined. And the Dragonborn is just kind of groaning from the attack there. Give me just a moment. All right. Salt, I'm going to say that was your action and a little bit of your movement. Anything else you want to do?
The only other thing I would want to do is start flying. Not that high necessarily, just like maybe 5 feet off the ground.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
that I'm not super easy pickings, just sitting on the floor.
Gotcha. Okay. And just to note, the ceiling in this cavern is much higher than in the previous room. The ceiling in this room is actually about 30 feet, and the still itself, this one, is about 20 feet high. All right. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Medrash.
Well, I want to finish what I started, so I'd probably get as close to Alfred and the other Dragonborn guard as quickly as I can to finish the job.
All right. So let me see. Movement-wise. Yep. Oh, yeah. You could get anywhere around him.
The other way that wouldn't get me an opportunity attack from the kobold, because I don't think it's.
Oh, that is true. If you kind of leap over that little counter or the little box that's set up for the
over it, yeah.
Yeah, you can make it right there. Yeah, you can see that there's a crate here with a stamp and a quill that seems to be manifests of like different amounts of barrels and things like that. How many they're expecting to deliver each day and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and
it's all written in Draconic.
In this case, and I can read most of it, right?
You can read all of it. It's all written in Draconic script.
But I'm not taking a moment to read it just yet.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you would be able to glance at it and know what it is.
Gotcha. What is it? Just for my own curiosity, what does it say?
At a glance, you can see that it just says that they're expecting to ramp up each day. They're going to be bringing 2 more barrels to town until they're going to have to start bringing a second cart, and they've already planned for that. So they are ramping up production of this. And there also is a list of other towns on here, aside from just Knotside, that haven't been delivered any yet.
So much for just blowing the place up like I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to get in between Alfred and the Dragonborn guard, and I'm going to pull out both my axes this time and attempt to finish off the guard while he's on the ground.
Got you. As you run up to this Dragonborn guard, you see as he looks up at you and just says, "Traitor! You would strike a fellow Dragonborn on the ground? Coward!"
In all fairness, when I first struck you, you were on your feet.
He sneers at you with anger and goes, "That makes you no less a coward for what you're doing right now."
In all fairness, I was also raised by goblins, and I just whack away at him.
Go for it.
And that's the first attack.
That hits. Awesome. That one also hits. Very solid.
And these are each one-armed strikes, so I need to use the D8 one. Okay.
Gotcha. And then do you have 2-weapon fighting feat?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Awesome. 10 points there. Ooh, very nice. Okay.
10 and 12. I can dig it. Into his throat.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. You jam the axes into him twice, leaving 2 bleeding gashes into his abdomen. He howls in pain, almost in like a hiss mirroring that of the still that is now leaking at a very high volume for 22 points more damage. But you see, he's not down yet. This is a trained fighter, and you see the chainmail that he's wearing under his linen seems to absorb some of the blow. You see, as it is now his turn, he quickly rolls backwards, hopping up onto his feet. The hand that was previously holding the whip now is holding his gut. He has dropped the whip on the ground, and he has unsheathed the scimitar all in one smooth motion. And you see as he just looks at you and just says, "You'll die for that, pig." And he is going to make a couple attacks at you.
Alright, my armor class is 12.
Awesome. Oh, I mistyped a thing. Hold on. Ooh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you see as the scimitar comes at you with a surprising amount of speed, a flurry of 3 attacks comes at you in no short order. You manage to block one of them, but before you're able to move your guard with your axes down to another point, you swirl your axes in a circle to try and just beat back his scimitar, but he treats it almost like a rapier and stabs you twice, once in the shoulder and once right in the gut with a critical.
Okay, point for you.
He's going to do 16 points of damage to you.
16 points for you.
Mm-hmm. And he just goes, "I'll show you what a real man fights like."
And I believe my total hit points was 60, by the way. I'm not sure if it's displayed on my token here.
Oh, sorry. I think his token's covering it. Give me just a moment. You should be able to, by the way, click on your token, and you'll see, when you click on it, there'll be a green circle with the number 60 in it, and you should be able to... It won't let you?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, I didn't set your control for it. I'm so sorry. Give me just a moment here. Can't believe you haven't had control of this. Hold on, there you go. Now you should be able to move the token, modify the HP, all of that. And you can even, in fact, click on the number and then type in -16, and it'll just subtract 16 from it.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So while you are doing that, we're going to go to this kobold right here.
Whoops.
This kobold is going to drop the barrel he is holding. Give me just a moment. Mm-hmm. Where is this? I'm sorry, I'm having a weird technical difficulty with these PDFs again.
if I could have gotten a chance, I would have gotten Alfred on his feet, but I wasn't sure how much longer the other guy would be.
Oh, I gotcha. You know what? I'll let you do. Well,
No,
I'll let you
no. I did the
assist
2
him.
attacks on the one guy, and he.
Oh, that's true. That would be attack and bonus action.
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. So this kobold is going to set down the empty barrel that he was carrying in to be filled, and is going to take a step towards Alfred, where he is going to pull out a little dagger from his loincloth, and with advantage, he's going to try and plunge it into Alfred. And he just says, "Ah, die, usurper!" What is your AC, Alfred? Alfred? Alfred, I think you might be
15.
cutting out. 15. Okay, gotcha. You see as the dagger comes at you, and if only you had been on your feet, you would have been able to avoid it. But unfortunately, the kobold has you right where he wants you, and you're unable to scoot backwards into Medrash any further. The kobold lunges at you with a two-handed downwards dagger strike and lands it right into your shoulder. It snarls and hisses in your face, and you're going to take. Oh, sorry. 6 points of damage from the stab wound. The kobold is like cackling almost manically as he stabs at you. And then this one up here, looking at Salt, is just looking at you with anger. It has a barrel that it was about to go fill, and I think it's just going to toss that barrel at you, actually.
I am 5 feet in the air, but okay, sure, go for it.
He's going to try. He's a daring little kobold. Oof. Okay, yeah. He did not roll well. You see the barrel kind of make a lazy arc through the air and then just clatter to the ground, rolling away. And then the kobold unsheathes his dagger and is just going to like wave it helplessly in the air in your general direction before calling out. He just goes, "Meh, meh." And then you just hear him call out and says, "There's a winged one over here, floating above me. Help!" And then we are going to go to Alfred.
Okay, so at this point, I will spend my I'll spend my 15 feet of movement moving up, and then I'm going to cast Shocking Grasp at the Dragonborn right beside me.
At this guy?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, go ahead and roll that attack roll.
Oh.
Spell attack. Oh, that is a critical. Absolutely.
That is shocking.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you deliver 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 points of lightning damage straight to this guy. Give me just a moment. There is a sound that comes from him for a moment as your hand just briefly connects with his arm. Now that you've stood up, give me just a moment to spin you up right here. And yeah, you see as he goes, "What? Now 2 against 1? I thought you were going to fight fair at this point. At least, coward, fool."
You're right, though. The kobold wouldn't count.
No, the kobold doesn't count. He's half a fighter, barely.
I know, right?
He glares at you and just says, "Only I'm allowed to insult them. Shut up." Alfred, anything else on your turn?
That'll end my turn.
Okay. Salt.
Okay, I almost feel bad attacking this poor, helpless kobold, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And do some punches.
Punch.
That's what I do. Okay, so that was the first attempt. Did either of those hit?
Okay, so your first attack, you float down and throw 2 haymakers at this little kobold, trying to knock him out of the way. The first one he ducks under, but the second one he pops back up to mock you for dodging the first attack, and then just pops up right into the path of your fist. Go ahead and roll the damage for that second attack.
Aw, poor little kobold.
All right. This little guy, would you like to knock him out or kill him?
Oh no. So Midrash, if memory serves, you have a bit of a vendetta against kobolds, yes?
Well, yeah, but even I have figured out, just by overhearing what they were saying in Draconic, we're going to need one of them alive, at least.
Okay, then I guess this poor pathetic little one can be knocked out and not dead, so that we can use him for questioning later.
Got you. You knock him backwards. He flips over several times, clattering into the other stills on the side of the room, landing amongst a heap of empty wooden barrels. All right. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's it, but I'll probably say something like, "Who fell over during the fight? You did! You did!"
Ugh, adding insult to injury.
And then I suppose I'll use some movement speed to head over toward the rest of the group.
Yes. Now this spray here is kind of blocking your path a little bit. It is like a wall of steam almost. So you might need to kind of fly over a little bit, but you have enough movement speed to where it doesn't really matter. You can kind of just do one of these and avoid it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. And is that where you end your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Medrash, back to you.
Well, for my bonus action, I think I'm going to use Second Wind.
Okay.
Which I think I roll a D10 plus 7 HP to do that.
Let me double check, but I think so.
It's what D&D Beyond is telling me anyway.
Oh yeah, then I would listen to it. D&D Beyond is usually correct.
All right. So that's 9 points.
Awesome. All right, you heal 9 points. All right. What else would you like to do?
Then for my main action, with 2 hands, I would like to, on 1 battle axe, I would like to continue my assault on the guard.
All right, roll that attack roll. As your battle axe comes down this time, you see the scimitar comes up, and he actually parries the blow. He has an ability called Parry that can increase his AC for a moment. And you see as the battle axe is parried to the side, and your battle axe, although if he hadn't parried it, would have either broken his scimitar or ended up in his chest, lands in the dirt instead from a very artful parry.
Whoops! I meant to tell you that shocking grasp prevents him from taking reactions until the start of his next turn.
Oh, that is true. I totally forgot about that. You got me there, so that does hit. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, I roll damage.
You may. He tries to parry the blow, but you see paralysis in his hands takes over, and the scimitar falls limp right at the end of the parry. Nice. All right, 11 points of damage. Okay. As you just bury this battle axe into his shoulder, you see the chainmail kind of shirks off a little bit of the damage, but he takes it and just says, damn you and your cheats and tricks." Anything else on your turn?
I think that'll end it for now.
Okay. It's going to go to his turn, and he is going to... What is he going to do? Okay. You see as he reaches into his belt pouch, and you can see that there is a bottle, like a glass bottle hanging off of it, and he plucks the bottle from his waistband and throws it above him, just up in the air. And as soon as after he does that, he is going to try and run past you, which is going to provoke an attack of opportunity.
Which I
If
will
you would
now.
like to take. Yes. If you want to.
Oh, I want to.
Mm-hmm.
With 2 hands on the axe, like before.
Got it.
Can I take an opportunity attack too?
That is true. He would be leaving your threatened square as well. So yes, if you want to take a single melee attack at him. Wow, 11, 11, 11. And an 11. You see as he shakes off the paralysis for a moment, and just a flurry of parries come out of that little scimitar of his, and he seems to be just using everything he has left to try and get past you all. And he just throws your battle axe and your dagger aside as he darts past you. Give me just a moment. Okay. Medrash. So I'm going to say, Medrash, now that you've moved here, actually, I can reveal some more of this hallway to you. Give me just a moment. You can see that he runs down this hallway where there is another kobold bringing an empty barrel back, and he shoves the kobold to the side and just says, "Run, damn it!" and gets about right here. Okay. And then, as soon as he gets there, the glass that he had thrown in the air falls back to earth in a moment. And I'm going to say, Medrash and Alfred, please make a dexterity saving throw as the little flask explodes into a conflagration of fire.
Which I have a resistance to, but he does not. Sorry, one moment. Well, now my internet's just being funky and I can't pull up the page that I'm trying to pull up. Okay, got you. Lecturing about
As
cheap tricks, and he drops a bomb.
Hey, if you're not going to play fair, he won't either. The flask that he threw up in the air explodes, shooting explosive, flaming, napalm-like liquid all around within the 5 feet of where it shattered. Both of you are unable to dodge the explosion, and you're each going to immediately take 4 points of fire damage, or half if you resist it. And you are still covered in this flaming goop, and so you'll have to try and, on your turn, roll the dexterity saving throw as an action if you want to try and extinguish it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then we go to the kobold. This kobold is going to look at you, Alfred, seeing you kind of pinned right here. After seeing his friend run, I think the kobold is also going to try and run. But he is going to... he's small. Cannot... Okay. He doesn't have the ability to disengage as a bonus action, so he's just going to disengage as an action. You just see him look at you with the little dagger that he just pulled out of your shoulder, still dripping with blood, and he just goes, I surrender! And drops the dagger and just books it. 5, 20, 25, 30. Right behind his dragonborn comrade. And then we go to Alfred.
And then I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast.
All right. On which one?
On the Dragonborn.
On the Dragonborn? Got you. Go ahead and roll that attack roll. Oof, that is a critical miss. Okay, as you try to sling an Eldritch Blast out of your hand, the napalm-like alchemist's fire that is now burning your flesh throws off your aim, and it just explodes a section of the wall in the cave rather than hitting the Dragonborn proper. And you're going to take 3 more points of fire damage from that alchemist fire.
Oh no.
All right. Anything else on your turn, Alfred? Alfred, I think you're cutting out a little bit. Sorry.
I was just saying. Okay, so the spell says it fires 2 beams at 5th or higher level.
Oh, right. Sorry, pardon my French. The second beam will hit for 8 force damage. The first one goes wide, and you are going to take the alchemist fire damage anyway. Ooh, okay, but I will say, Alfred, do you want to kill, or rather, I guess because it's a ranged spell, how would you like this guy to die? Or how would you like to describe how he dies, please?
As the second bolt knocks him in the head, he just falls over as if a boulder just clanked him in the back of the head.
Ah, nice. There is just a snap of force and a thump, and he just does a somersault and face plants into the dirt. I think the kobold practically trips over his body. Anything else on your turn? And anything else on your turn? Hello? Andrew, are you there?
I'm going to use a bonus action to heal myself. Sorry, I forget that I pushed the talks.
Ah, okay, gotcha. What ability are you using, if you don't mind me asking?
It's called Healing Light.
Ah, right, because you're a Celestial Warlock. Got you. Let me see. Just want to double check how that works because I haven't seen it in a long time. Ah, okay. So you have a +4 charisma modifier?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Just double checking that. Awesome, awesome. All right, then we go to Salt.
Does that affect both of us?
The healing?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that just heals one target. Yeah.
Single target bonus action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as a bonus action, you can heal one creature you can see within 60 feet of you, spending from the dice pool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so he has 8 dice total. All right.
Okay.
Salt.
So we may as well knock out these kobolds, yeah? Like, we don't have to kill them, but they may as well be knocked out. It's more convenient.
Well, I mean, we only need one for information. You knocked one out?
That's true.
Sweet.
Alright, I guess
That
we may
means
as well
I can
kill the
have
rest.
some fun now. And I just kind of smile at the 2 kobolds at the end of the hall.
Okay. So I'm gonna punch.
Nice. You soar down the hallway like a Valkyrie of punching. The first attack misses again, predictably, as the kobold ducks under it. But again, his little head pops back up right in line with your fist for the second blow, which is a crit.
Yeah. So that's double the roll, like double
Yes.
the dice. That's how you do it. Okay.
Yeah, so you'll roll another d6.
Okay, cool. So that and then. Oops. Okay. So 9 damage.
Ooh, very nice. Would you like to knock him out or kill him?
I guess I'll kill him. We already have one knocked out.
All right. A absolutely thunderous punch just rocks this kobold's world, and you hear a crunch as the kobold flips probably 15 feet, 10 feet down the hallway here, and just slams against the wall. The other kobold, who is just now witnessing this whole confrontation, has been shoved off to the side of the hallway, looks at you, kneels on the ground, it just dropping the empty barrel, just says, "I surrender! I surrender!" I'm going to say that brings us out of combat. Medrash and Alfred, would you please roll dexterity checks to put out the napalm alchemist fire that is on you? Unless you don't want to, of course. They're just going to keep burning you otherwise. Okay. So, Alfred, you put yours out, but Adam, you're going to take one more... Oh, sorry. One more d4 of fire damage, which is 4, and you're going to have that to 2. So also you take 2 more points of fire damage, roll 1 more dex save. Oh, jeez.
Worse.
Okay. I'm going to say take 2 more points of fire damage. That's already halved. And then I'll say it goes out at that point.
So 3 total so far?
So actually it would be... So 4. Well, so 4 after combat.
Word.
Wait, what?
Word, I understand.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. All right.
Ooh,
So combat is over.
Fire bath. Whoa.
This kobold is groveling in the corner here, just like, please don't smash me. Please don't smash my head in.
Gosh, are you okay? Wait, are you okay with the fire?
Oh yeah, believe it or not, Papa Goblin used to set me on fire all the time. It was his favorite thing to do.
Oh God.
Hey,
You acquired.
I shouldn't have eaten the last cupcake.
You acquired
That is
medicinal assistance of any kind?
So far, last I was told, apparently Red Dragonborn have a knack for it.
Okay. All right. Let's. All right. I want to talk to the goblin real quick. I mean, the kobold real quick, if that's all right with you.
You want to talk to him first? Oh, well, fine. Take all the fun out of it.
No. Okay, if you want to talk to him, I'll let you talk to him first.
Well, that depends. Do you want him alive at the end of the conversation or not?
The kobold speaks up for a moment and just says, I think I'd rather talk to him, pointing at Alfred.
Good call. I walk away.
You talk to the kobold because it looked like you were communicating with the other people in here. Is that right?
I can understand what they're saying, basically. I do make a grab for the kobold before he can get away.
Yeah, you see he is starting to slink back into a very tiny alcove behind him, but you manage to grab him by his little... he has like a leather strap across his chest holding a crate, like a small box to his back. And you grab him by that and hoist him off his feet. And he just says, I wasn't going nowhere, I promise.
Oh, I know. Come with me. And I'm saying this next part in Draconic. I'm like, you lie to me even once, I will kill you slowly in ways that will make you scream, and that I don't even know if you know your mom or not, but she will not come to help you.
Oof. All right.
And I do drag him back into the main room of the distillery.
Got you.
And as I'm passing by Salt, I tell her, could you, you might want to deal with that. And I kind of nod towards the body in the hallway.
Got you. Give me just a moment. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm just checking my notes for something real quick. Okay. Okay. So I think Salt and Medrash, and also probably Alfred, this little hallway down here, I'm going to move these kind of corpses out of the way. This hallway down here, as you are kind of in here dragging the dude out, I think it's mostly nondescript, except for. Give me just a moment. All right. So the stone corridor, it's a little 6-foot high ceiling, roughly 5 feet wide. And the thing that you notice that is a bit odd is that there are 8 red X's painted on the stone floor at regular intervals. Some to the left side, some to the right, but they're kind of painted all around. I'm actually going to paint them on here in just a moment. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's supposed to be an X. Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, I think you all will just notice that there's X's here. So you are carrying this kobold out, Medrash?
Yep, I'm pulling out some rope to tie him up.
All right, you do that. He is tied up.
To a barrel.
He is you tie him to the side of a barrel. Awesome. You do that, and he just says, "Yep, no, I'm not putting up a fight. I'm gonna cooperate."
If you were putting up a fight, I would have already hacked off your left arm.
Okay, yeah, definitely not fighting.
So
and he just kind of sits there looking at you.
So, question number 1. I overheard you and your buddies talking earlier about how screwed y'all are going to be. Means you have a boss. May I know who that was? Lie to me and I'll cut your tongue off.
Roll an intimidation check. Oof. Okay. You see as the kobold looks at you and his eyes go wide like large pools, and you see him just go. It's the great Tuckerthenx.
The Tucker.
Tuckerthenx. He's great and mighty, and he'll kill you if you don't leave.
He's the least thing you should be worrying about right now. I saw all the signs and barrels and all the writing. You're planning on spreading your poison to other places, aren't you?
It's not poison. It's not. Tuckerthenx is mighty. He will subjugate all of them. The pigs. You are one of them. You spite yourself. You could be great. You could serve Tuckerthenx and be mighty, be his fiercest warrior.
I am Medrash, the great hero of the goblin clans of the Dark Tribe. I am the killer of kolbolds you speak to right now. I am already great.
You see as his eyes kind of dart left to right and go, well, I don't care how great you are. Tuckerthenx will kill you. You can kill me if you want. Well, please don't, actually. You can't kill me. You shouldn't kill me. That came out wrong. Don't kill me.
Little
no,
pest.
Wait.
Could you explain all the X's, by the way? And I kind of force his face to look in the direction of the X's.
You turn his chin roughly towards the X's, and he goes, "Oh, those I painted those because I like to play hopscotch."
I almost break his jaw by squeezing it.
I'm gonna say roll a strength check, just to see how much damage we're talking here.
That is gentle for me.
Okay. You squeeze his jaw, and you just hear him go.
I let his jaw go.
You let his jaw go, and you just see him. Damnable dragonborn. It's. I don't really know what it's for, but it has something to do with one of the commanders told me to paint it on the floor.
Who?
His name. Tuckerthenx's right-hand man. I don't know if I should tell you his name. They'll kill me if I do.
I don't need his name. Just tell me where to find him. I'll ask him myself, the same way I'm asking you.
If you find Tuckerthenx, you'll find him. They're inseparable at this point.
Here?
He kind of curls his little draconic lips up around his teeth in a sneer and just says, maybe?
I pull out my battle axe and hold it in one hand, and I kind of finger the edge slowly.
He looks over to Alfred and Salt and just says, do you two condone this? You condone torture? You allow this? Is this how you rule? How you do things? Hmm?
I mean, I don't not allow it.
You see as he gulps and then looks over at Alfred.
I have no comment on what's going on.
Okay.
I take it with one finger, I tilt his face back to me, and I say, "You're talking to me."
You are holding the battle axe with one hand over him, and he just says, all right, yes, they're here. Yes, they're here. They're here right now, but they might not be later. Tuckerthenx doesn't stay here all the time. Neither does Boger. Oh, he covers his mouth.
I'm sorry, come again, and then I punch him in the gut.
You punch him in the gut, and I'm going to say roll a d4 plus your strength here.
Plus
just
my
to
strength?
see. Yeah.
Oh, +4, okay. So +4, that would be a 7.
Okay, got you. You whop him in the gut, and as soon as that happens, you see as he just barfs on your shoes, and you see as he leans back up, he just says, "You'll die before you get anything from Tuckerthenx." And then he looks like he's about to pass out.
One last question. How flammable is this place?
His eyes narrow at you, and then you see his eyes dart to left and right, and you can see he looks over at the open barrel of Red Claw right here, and you see as he starts rummaging around very hastily in a little leather pouch on his side.
Before he can reach his pouch, I dig my hand into it to pull out what he was looking for.
Okay, yeah. He rolled really bad on dexterity here, so I'm not even gonna make you roll. You beat him to the little pouch on his side, and you pull out a little handful of what appears to be like a fine yellowish powder, almost like a mustardy looking powder.
I take a sniff of it, and to figure out what it is, what do I have to roll to figure out what it could possibly be?
As soon as you take a sniff of it, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, jeez. That's plus my... Ooh, 6. Oof.
Oofa doofa. As soon as you take a sniff of it, you feel like your nose just go like numb, and you feel just a strange sensation beginning to pass over your face. And before your mouth can say, "What the heck is it?" you just start mumbling and murmuring your words, and you feel your legs turn to jelly, and you just collapse onto the ground, paralyzed. And as soon as that happens, the kobold just leaps over you. Alfred, do you want to make an attack opportunity? Or wait, no, he's tied up. He's tied up.
To the barrel. I know. I'm looking at him, passed out on the ground, or I'm paralyzed, and I'm like, the moment this stuff wears off, I'm going to scalp you.
You think that, but the words don't come out of your mouth as he tries to squirm away in his roped form past you. Alfred, I'm assuming you're going to want to stop him. Alfred?
I'm sorry. I see what he did, and I'm going to try to kill him. I'm going to cast. Let's see here. I'm going to cast Shocking.
Okay. Shocking Grasp. Go ahead and roll that attack roll. Okay, that will hit the little kobold, especially while tied up, since you would technically have an advantage. But that already hits him anyway. You can roll again to see if you crit if you want. Okay, yeah. You hit him with Shocking Grasp. You zap this little kobold very thoroughly, and there's just a little smoking pile of kobold next to you now, curled up into a ball. Medrash, you are paralyzed. You every time you try to move, a ripple of pain shoots through your body.
Let's see here. If I were to inspect him, what would I figure out?
Roll a medicine check. Also, Salt, would you like to do one as well?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, Alfred, with your 15 medicine check, you know a little bit more. Salt, you try and inspect the yellow powder that is now mostly spilled out of Madrash's hand, and you're not entirely sure what it is, but it's some nasty alchemical thing for certain. You very carefully try and gather the scent of it from like a waft, from a distance, of course, and it smells foul. It has a metallic, almost like rotten kind of smell mixed together, like the smell of rusting metal, kind of. And Alfred, with your 15, I don't think you would necessarily recognize this substance or know like what the name of it is. But you do know it's an expensive alchemical toxin that's typically used by like high-level assassins. Yeah, it does look like sulfur is probably one of the ingredients, if not the main ingredient. But there's definitely more mixed into it. There's also like a metallic scent in there as well. But yeah, Alfred, this is typically like assassin fare. This is something that someone would go to a shady alchemist shop and pay a very pretty penny for. It's most likely highly illegal.
Let's see here. I want to know. I was wondering. I was trying to inspect Midrash more than anything.
Oh, just like look him up and down. Midrash looks to be mostly unharmed. You can see some of the color in his reddish scales is draining from his cheeks a little bit. Midrash, your head starts to kind of spin a little bit. That numbness is spreading through your body, and I think you have a pang of fear as you wonder what will happen when it reaches your heart. And yeah, your eyes can move around a little bit, but you find yourself only half blinking when you try to blink. And you have to try to blink at the moment. This is incredibly uncomfortable, and you feel kind of a flash of like grayish light as the light coming from the pit to the north of you here almost becomes unbearably bright, and you don't even want to open your eyes.
I'm going to cast lesser restoration to see if that'll help.
Gotcha. Give me just a moment here.
And I'm assuming there's nothing I can roll at all to shake this off.
Not at the moment, unfortunately. Alfred, as you cast Lesser Restoration, Midrash, you suddenly feel like a lightning bolt just pass through your spine, and you can feel again suddenly the paralysis ends. You can move instantly as soon as the magic courses through you, but the pain doesn't quite stop. Every movement hurts. You feel as though your blood is filled with sand.
God, whatever y'all do not smell that stuff. Oh.
Are you talking about the yellow powder the kobold tried to sniff it, tried to hurt you?
I thought he was trying to throw it to make it blow up like that other guy did. Ugh.
I think, Medrash, as you come to your feet and start to feel a little bit better, I think you look at your palm where the powder was, and you notice there's like a little bit of sweat on your palm, and where the powder was mixing with the sweat on your palm, it seems to be fizzing and bubbling, producing a thin stream of smoke.
Oh, jeez. I try to find some water someplace just sitting around.
It's not hurting you, to be clear. It's just making a stream of smoke.
Well, this is weird, guys. I'm starting to sweat a little bit, and I don't sweat, so...
Oh yeah, it was like a cold sweat from the toxin.
Oh, man. These guys, I don't know who they're working for if they can afford that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Salt,
Salt,
you knocked
Alfred?
one out, didn't you?
I did.
Do you imagine we'll learn anything else from him?
We can try, but it seems unlikely that one would give us information that the others would not.
Good. I at least want to search that one's pockets.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I'm thinking if one of them has it, they probably all have whatever obnoxious stuff rendered you. Try to render you unconscious.
Well, grab it anyway. It might be useful. I start searching the other one's pockets for the same stuff and for anything else useful.
Okay, you search this kobold over. You see a small flask that appears to contain Red Claw. You see there is a little kobold dagger on his hip in a very homemade little leather sheath made from just a single strap of leather and a bit of scrap metal. And then you can also see he does have one of those little leather pouches, and his has that just a tiny little bit of that yellow powder in it, like barely a pinch.
I pocket it, and then I
Okay.
proceed to snap his neck.
Okay. There is a resounding crunch, and the kobold is no more.
And I take his dagger and I start scalping him.
Oh, jeez. You scalped the kobold who has been mercifully freed from death beforehand, and you obtain one kobold scalp.
I do not tell Salt.
Fair.
I do walk over to the other one, and since he's dead anyway, if they haven't already searched his pockets, I will start to.
Gotcha. So yeah, you search his pockets. You find the same thing, however, minus one pouch of yellow powder. And instead of a flask of Red Claw on this one's hip, you find that there is just a little kind of glass bottle that was tucked. Or no. He had a little crate behind him that was attached by a leather strap. And as you pull that off of him, you don't know what's in it, but it's a little rickety wooden box that seems like it's barely even holding itself together, but you feel something squirming inside.
Well, knowing kobolds, like my history with them, I would like to make a... what kind of roll will I have to try to deduce what kind of box the kobold was carrying?
I'm going to say make a history check, just to determine like what you know about your history with kobolds, and I would say roll with advantage due to your background.
Fair enough.
Okay. So based on your 19, what you would know about kobolds, this particular kobold must have been a bit of a clever one. Some kobolds fancy themselves inventors and try to come up with sneaky ways of giving themselves an edge on the battlefield. This one appeared to be an inventor in the sense that he made himself a little box of centipedes. This is a fairly common little invention, quote unquote, that kobolds will come up with to give them an advantage. They'll basically hurl this little box and it'll smash open, and a swarm of centipedes will come out and attack anyone nearby.
I toss it to Alfred, and not before telling him, don't let that open up.
Sorry, sir.
Mm-hmm. All right, so it is 6:56. Do we want to go ahead and take a little 10-minute break and then come back and continue?
I do start scalping this one in front of Salt, though.
Oh, jeez. Any comment on that, Salt?
I mean, I'm
He's
not
dead.
thrilled about it, but we got the information we could, so I'm good.
Okay.
And I pocket both scalps so she doesn't notice I have two, that I only have one. What? The scarf doesn't make itself.
Oh god.
Oh, jeez. Scalp, scarf, blah. All right, we'll take a little 10-minute scalp break, and we will rejoin at 7:07, I suppose, or we'll just call it 7:10. Make it 13 minutes.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
So see you all in a bit.